I'm going to do a video today to elaborate on something, and I've known this for a very long time, but I've never really done a video about it. A lot of my family and friends around me I've shared this information with, but this morning, Anna, and I always talk about Anna, it's amazing, but her video today is about healing environments, and she's talking about acidosis and alkalinity. And I want to explain something, because this is just, I find some of the things that Anna talks about is so amazing for me, because they're things that I'm working on also, or things that I've recently understood. And so this morning I can elaborate on this, and I think it's very important for people to know this. And this is what I want to kind of explain. Cancer, okay? And what I'm going to show you is, please take the time to read this information for yourself. And what I'm going to tell you is, there is a doctor named Dr. Warburg. He won the Nobel Prize for Medicine for 1931. And the reason he won the Nobel Prize, he was studying cancer. Okay? And what Dr. Warburg found out was that cancer thrives in an acidic environment. Okay? And so what his studies were is basically, when we are born, we're very alkaline. Okay? Now, the opposite of alkaline is acidic. Okay? And this scale runs, alkaline runs from 1 to 14, okay, and 7 is neutral. Is it N-E-U? N-U-E-T-R-A? Okay, neutral. Okay, so alkaline, acidic. Here is my pH tester. Because since I have learned of this, and I have practiced this, and a lot of it I was doing and already doing it, but I just didn't know that I was doing it until I did read this information. So this is what I want to show you and explain to you, because this is so incredible. Okay, water used to run from 1 to about 7. Okay? So anything in here is alkaline. Okay? And you can test it. This little meter actually measures from 1 to 14. See, like right now, it's actually shouldn't be on, but it is. Okay, but it reads 1 to 14. And I think this thing was like maybe $9 or something. It's not very expensive at all. And this little thing pops off. Okay, and you just stick it in the water, and it tests it. It reads it. And I'm going to tell you some amazing things that I found. Let me go back, because I want to make sure I cover this. Let me tell you how cancer works first, and then I'll come back to this. Cancer, the cell goes through what's called meiosis. Okay? And what meiosis is when the cell turns into 2 cells. Alright? Well, the body has a recipe A. Okay, and recipe A is normal alkalinity, and it runs from 1 to 7. Okay? And this is normal. This is how the body is supposed to function. Okay? And this is your cell. Body cells in the body. Well, there is also a recipe B. And recipe B is when the acid in the body has reached 7 to 14. Now we're talking about acidosis, okay, and this would be the alkalinity, as long as the body is still in an alkaline state, normal. And recipe B, what happens is when these cells divide, they actually take blood sugars and they convert it to energy. Recipe B, because of the environment of the body, the state of the body, it has to ferment the blood sugars. And when it's fermenting the blood sugars, it's like making any alcohol or liquor. It puts off a byproduct of a gas, okay, which I think is CO2. I'd have to double check or read the papers again on that. But that gas, when it's released in the body, causes pain in the body. All right? Now, most diseases, okay, and when this happens, when the body reaches 7 to 14 and it has to switch to plan B, part of the plan B is rapid multiply. Okay? Rapid multiply. It means, okay guys, the environment is bad, save yourselves. And the cells start rapidly multiplying. Rapid multiplying cells is called cancer. So in Dr. Warburg, he's explaining all of this. This is what he's explaining to the world. Okay? Cancer grows here. It does not grow here. Other diseases are all in a 7 to 14 range, which is considered to be acid. In the alkaline state, not many diseases happen in here, 1 to 7. So what Dr. Warburg had proposed was that on a scale, okay, something like this, okay, 0 being neutral, and he wanted the governments of the world to label foods. So, let's just grab this right here. And the thing is, a lot of foods now has acid built into it. Okay, it has acid because we call acid a preservative. It's a preservative. So it is actually put into the food, making it acid. And even though you're born alkaline, over the period of your lives, you eat way more acidic foods, okay, because of the preservatives that are in them. So what Dr. Warburg proposed is that you can eat, and we'll say these are acids, acid foods. These are alkaline foods, okay? And if you eat an acidic 3, you need to eat an alkaline 3 too. And they neutral each other out. If you eat a, I don't know, let me just, okay, I don't know, here's something here. Here's some syrup. Okay, I don't know, shouldn't be too much acid in here, but possibly. So if whatever the acid level, if it was labeled a -2, but later on in the day I had a +3, that +3 canceled out that 2. And I was still at a +1. Okay, so this was just what he proposed. But the concept is, they've known this since 1931. And what I'm going to show you is water. Okay? Now, I've been blessed enough that I've always had well water. I've been in situations to where I've drinking city waters and such as that, but most of the time I have had well water the majority of my life. Well, with this tester, I was testing my well water. It was a 6.4. Okay? Well, that's within the range of 7. So that's good. All right? But a neighbor of mine has city water, and I tested their city water. 8.5. Most bottled waters are 7 and up. Okay? Then the foods that you're eating are all going to be 7 and ups also. So yes, what Anna's talking about today is a true thing here. It's very true. And what happens is, when the body starts to go into acidosis, from what I can tell you, what you're going to see is arthritis, okay, because that's acid and it builds up in the joints, the knuckles, everywhere that it moves. The body takes that acid and tries to store it, okay? It tries to do something with it. It tries to get it out of the body, okay? Cholesterol. All right, cholesterol is a fat, and so what the body does is it takes that acid and it tries to bind it up in a little bubble of fat, okay? But then it just moves around in the body and it gets stuck, okay? So now we have high cholesterol. Gout, stomach, any stomach problems or colon problems, it all comes from the acid. That's too much acid. In America, the #1 over-the-counter product in a pharmacy is antacid tablets. Okay, because people eat so much antacid. And what I'm going to try and tell you is this is where it's very important to try and drink an alkaline water. Okay, because this is like a baking soda. It's like putting baking soda on any acid. It's going to neutralize it. Now, you can put a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water each morning and drink it, but I would only do that for a short term. And the reason is the baking soda has sodium in it. And so the sodium builds up in the body like salt and can run the blood pressure up. Now, I'm not a doctor here, so, use common sense, use your intuition, but I wouldn't necessarily do that. I would try and get alkaline water, and I'm going to show you in just a moment an alkaline machine that I had built, and I'm going to try and put a few photos in so you guys can actually see. Hold on. I'll show you, this is the basic machine, the diagram, and then I'll put a photo of my actual one in. Alright, and what this is right here, this is 4-inch PVC pipe. Alright, it's one piece, it's cut in half, it's two pieces. There's a valve on this side and a valve on this side. Okay, this is to drain out the water after you've processed it. Alright, here, that goes down in it, is a stainless steel rod. This side is a stainless steel rod. There is a 12-volt battery charger, just a regular old battery charger, okay? And you hook one to one side and one to the other side. So you have a positive and a negative. You fill it up with water, and what it does is it separates the water. So if this is the negative side, the positive ions will go over here and go into this side. Now, I do have to show you, there is a piece here with a valve. So you can open the valve and all the water shares. Okay, and then you run it. You turn the voltage on to feed the water. And when you do, the positive ions will all gather over here. And all the negative ones will come over here. You see, the negatives are going to bond to the positive. Okay, and then usually the negatives are the acid water, and then usually the positives bond here. So what you're going to see here is, let's say this is going to be more of the alkaline water, and this is going to be the positive water, which is acidic in this situation. And before, if anyone was actually going to make one of these, I'd spend the little money here and I'd test my two outputs to see which one was the alkaline. Okay? And so basically this is how it works. And then I'll show you mine real quick. And there's more information on the internet. I would suggest looking at this for yourself. Don't just take my word for everything. Go find out for yourself. Alright, have a good day.